Have you noticed these electronic tags in your grocery stores? Well, if you haven't yet, then you will soon.
I was shopping at the Whole Foods in the Pearl District recently and noticed something new on the shelves. Digital price tags that display the price of everything from dried fruit to sparkling water. These small electronic placards replace paper price tags and allow stores to change the price of items within seconds. That has stewed worries that retailers will start increasing prices based on demand, otherwise known as dynamic pricing. The Whole Foods in the Pearl District started rolling out these new price tags in mid-April. The retailer says it's not using them for dynamic pricing. Rather, the new price tags will help ensure that the price on the shelf matches the price that customers pay at the register, as well as save paper. If you've been to a Walmart recently, you might also notice that the retailer has started using digital price tags. Like Whole Foods, Walmart says it's not using the price tags to, say, raise the price of donuts at 8 o'clock in the morning. The Pearl District location of Whole Foods is the second in Oregon to start using digital price tags after Eugene. A Whole Foods spokesperson tells me that more of its stores will start rolling out the price tags later this year. You can read more about this in my story on OregonLive.com/business.
I mean, not that we needed another reason to boycott Whole Paycheck, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, right? And Jeff Bezos and Amazon Web Services contract with and support ICE's reign of terror in the United States. So we're not shopping at Whole Foods anyway. A couple of weeks ago, B, who lives in Eugene, asked me to talk about this issue because they've started doing these electronic price tags at stores down there. Again, everybody is so far, all of the retailers so far are saying, we're not using this for dynamic pricing, we're not using it for surge pricing, but they have no guarantee that they won't use it for that in the future. Like, why would they be investing all of this money in these electronic tags if there's not a monetary, a profit-driven incentive for them? So B had some thoughts. Go for it.
I got inspired to ask my mom to talk about this because I saw about a month ago, less than a month ago, in Maryland, they call it surveillance pricing, but it's basically the same thing where prices will be based on in-the-moment data or surveillance of users rather than, slower moving ups and downs of the market. Obviously, supply and demand causes prices to go up, but this could have
like fluctuations on like a 5-minute increment, right? Like very swift fluctuations in prices. Yeah.
Which is incredibly predatory because it can target certain groups, times day, specific items, a lot more than we've seen previously. And we see this with online stores and marketplaces like Uber and Lyft, which will raise the prices on users who look back at a thing twice and allegedly even like gender and place-based users.
Airlines do this too with airplane tickets.
But it's really concerning that this could be coming to grocery stores where it would really be unavoidable for pretty much everybody. As I said, Maryland has already banned this. I think they might be the first state to do so. They clearly saw the problem here, and I would encourage everyone to look into local petitions and see if there's other pushes to ban it for you, because this could very quickly become a problem. Even though companies are promising or saying really that they aren't using this for surveillance pricing, the fact remains that they are setting up the technology to use it that way. And that's very concerning. I think we also already see in other parts of the world that these electronic tags are used for surveillance pricing. It's not a hypothetical.
It's really disingenuous for them to make it sound like they're going to use it for anything else. Yeah, totally agree.
This is an issue we should really all be keeping an eye on and concerned about, because whether or not you shop at Grocery Outlet or Whole Foods or Walmart, this has the potential to affect everyone regardless of pay bracket.
I feel like it's definitely a nickel and dimed issue, right? It's like, how much more blood can they get out of this turnip? How much harder can they squeeze us? We're talking about okay, first of all, I love the fact that Maryland calls it surveillance pricing. I think that that's far more accurate. Dynamic pricing makes it sound like it's flexible and like, there's something potentially neutral or positive about it, but they're literally surveilling your shopping habits. They're tracking the shopping algorithm, essentially, of like when people of different age groups and different races and different income brackets are shopping, and they're adjusting the prices moment by moment accordingly so that they can extract maximum profit out of us. When we are already struggling and grocery stores and other retailers are already posting record profits, they're trying to squeeze ever more, like more and more pennies out of us while not paying their workers a fair wage. They're avoiding paying taxes. Their CEOs are raking in massive packages. They're trying to nickel and dime you. They're trying to fuck you out of a dime here and 27 cents here and $1.80 here. In the name of what? They're already experiencing massive billions and billions and billions in increased profits. And how is this sustainable for us when we're not seeing increases in income, we're not seeing increases in our quality of life, and we're seeing everything else already become increasingly unaffordable? Now they want to see how much more can we get out of you every moment of every day.
And I would really encourage anyone watching this and anyone who might be affected by this to look into local petitions and local bills being passed so that we can make this not just something that's been banned in Maryland, but hopefully in every state.
In Oregon.
In Oregon specifically, I really like.
I really appreciated that you brought this to my attention because I sort of knew that it was an issue in other states. I had no idea that it was happening here until you brought it up, and then a week later I saw the Oregonian piece on it.
Yeah.
And I love the way that your focus is being proactive, right? We anticipate this is a problem that will be coming down the pike. It's not here yet, right? They're not doing surveillance pricing yet, but they're setting up the scaffolding, the framework to institute it. So why don't we get ahead of them and go ahead and put policies in place that protect us from it, right? Like we're now playing catch up on data centers where communities are having to come in and after the fact, after damage has already been done, put in moratoriums. But with surge pricing, we can get in on it on the front end and prevent the problem from occurring in the first place.
I will say it is here. It's maybe not in physical stores, but again, it is online on Uber. Any place really you could shop, they could raise the prices. And if you don't know already, there's already a grassroots movement against Whole Foods because they're owned by Amazon and because of their exploitation of workers. I think it's called Star Fascism. This is a good way to get in on that movement because, especially here in Portland, because again, these electronic tags have already come to Whole Foods. They also come to other places. I've seen them in Pop Mart. I've seen them in the mall. So I would encourage you guys to look into see local movements that are already dealing with companies that do this sort of thing like Whole Foods. And adding on to that by making it a vocal issue that this is something you oppose.
I totally agree. And can I add on to that? I think this is also another reason to get involved in local politics, right? This is another reason to think about how we are most effective at pushing back against the Epstein class, against the CEOs, against the billionaires on a local level. We can create city, county, and state ordinances that ban surveillance pricing, that put moratoriums on data centers. We have so much more power, but it requires us to get involved, either run for office locally or be at your city council meetings, put forward agenda items, pieces of policy, and understand that we actually have the power to make a difference, the most difference, and do the most good on a local level.
And I just want to add how dehumanizing I find this all. I remember the alleged internal memos from Uber where they talked about, squeezing demographics and their workers and their customers for as much money as possible. And that's really what happens when we leave this kind of thing up to the privacy of hiding behind tech. We can't see what's going on, and we don't know why the prices are like that, and we have no control, and we ourselves become just another resource for them to squeeze.
Thanks, B, for hanging out with me today, and thanks for raising this issue. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.